right now the waters are receding.
Yeah.
What are the plans to, well, you broke it down to medium term, short term, and all that, but are there any plans right now to channel these waters, even as they've receded now, channel them so that a similitude of life can return to these areas?
You see, technologically, it doesn't have, you can see that the administration, the president has set up a committee chaired by Dangote. It is an effort to provide the immediate kind of palliatives on this, which is a fantastic positive thing to react. Two, most of the agencies that are involved, when you read the papers, they're doing one thing or the other. Most of it are in islands, and therefore needs to come together to make sure that we are strong.
There's no synergy amongst the agencies?
There's minimum synergy as far as I'm concerned, and therefore the learning curve is that we need to come together. Third, for example, for my agency, we've looked at this, and intellectually, you know, in the whole world, a country that is living below sea level, that have managed to literally arrogantly demonstrate itself to the world that it has capability and capacity to control water that cannot flood their country, is Holland. And therefore we need to learn from them. Learning from them is not just calling some professors to come here and talk to us and present papers. No, we also have to even review our own bilateral arrangement between Nigeria and Holland to factor in this expertise. Two, when you go to China, you will see China has managed to ensure that canals of water have penetrated all their lands, to ensure that water is running everywhere, to encourage people on irrigation agriculture. We have to learn from them. So it's not just bringing Chinese to come here and look for contracts and so on. No, it is the knowledge that we target. And this is the kind of dialogue that agencies like ours can do. And I'm telling you, by very early next year, we're going to have an international conference. We will call the Chinese, we will call the Thai people, we will call the Vietnamese, we will call the Nigerian experts from our universities and research institutes to now, just like we're talking here, talk about, look, it is not acceptable for Nigeria for floods to come and flood and chase our people. What do we need to do? We need to predict that is going to happen. So what do we need to do to predict? We need to do so and so. Next, if it's going to come, it should meet us prepared. As you are saying, there should be canals. People should be educated to leave the areas in good time because water will recede, and so on and so forth. These are the logical sequence of activities.
Well, now that this has happened, do we expect the Ministry of Science and Technology to come up with any sort of flood mapping images or advice for onward transmission to the states anytime soon? This
is already happening. Only yesterday, I was in the ministry, and we were discussing with huge maps. And these maps are not just Ministry of Science and Technology things. We are now talking to the Ministry of Water Resources to know that this resource has to be utilized. We are now talking to Ministry of Agriculture that this thing that is now literally flooding everywhere must be utilized effectively for agriculture. We're talking to Ministry of Transportation. This thing has to be channeled to other bigger rivers to ensure that we have got transportation facilities. So science and technology is a cross-cutting thing, and we have recognized this cross-cutting thing, and we're talking to all the appliers of this to ensure that
Dr. Bindir, just before we go, I'm a little interested in how our space outfit works. Is it that we have an office here in Nigeria that monitors what the satellite in space is doing, or we rely on other countries to provide the technology for us, to monitor it for us? How does it work?
First, we have an agency established by law as a space agency. This agency has a large pool of engineers, scientists, both in natural and social sciences and arts, to ensure that we have control of the space capability, right? To look at our country and other countries and be able to prefer application of technology to make the lives of people better.
Where are they based?
Now, first I'm telling you, so this agency, based on their understanding, have worked very closely with other countries that have been very successful. China, Russia, the British, to be able to come up with facilities that can be able to be flown to the sky. Our engineers were involved in the designing process. Our engineers were involved in the launching process. Now, we have an observation facility out of Nigeria, and also the control room itself in Nigeria, here in Abuja. We have engineers right now sitting there, looking at their screens, monitoring the position of this satellite, taking pictures and be able to download the pictures and print them, done by Nigerian engineers. So
right here in
right here in Abuja, when you visit
how do Nigerians gain access to these pictures, at least to know what's going on around us?
These Nigerians have got access because this is a facility of government.
No,
yeah.
I mean, how do we have to go to Abuja to gain access to these pictures, or are they posted to a website where we can go?
If you go to their website, you will see the methodologies of. There are some public domain pictures that you can actually have access to now. There are some that you can request. Today, if you want the picture of your own village to actually see where all the schools are, where all the hospitals are, you can place your request to the space agency, and when the satellite is over your village, they can press the button, take a picture, and then download it too. It might cost you a penny or two, though, but I mean, the technology is not free.
Even though taxpayers have paid for it.
Well, taxpayers pay for it, but I mean, it's just like roads. There are some of the roads, there are toll gates. So,
and many of them are bad.